But what about our weekend? Will it rain or will there be sun? The forecast is at 10.
At the Buena Vista Cemetery in Buena Vista, Georgia. Just come up from Mobile, Alabama. I'm trying to find the grave of my grandfather, W.C. Singleton, and his wife, Anna. Now this is Anna Singleton's grave here. Let's see if I can get a little closer. Anna Singleton, this is mother's mother, wife of W.C. Singleton, born September the 4th, 1868, died July 22nd, 1901. My mother was only a couple years old when she died. Sort of an elaborate tombstone, probably not for that day and time, but that's Barbara over there in the background. Let's see if we can read what's on here. A light from our household is gone. A voice we loved is stilled. A place is vacant in our hearts that never can be filled. Okay, now backing off just a little bit, here's Granddad's grave. Right beside Grandmother. On here, it says W.C. Singleton, August 24th, 1857, July the 2nd, 1939. It's kind of hard to read through the lens. And Grandmother's grave, of course, is right here beside it. Back off just a little bit here and get both of them together. Now we're standing here near Grandmother's and Grandfather's grave, and I'm going to pan around a little bit, and so we'll have a good location where the graves are. Barbara, what's this tall one over here? Do you have any idea?
Well, let's start back over by the car, can you?
Oh, okay.
There's Doyle and Rogers.
Yeah, I can see Rogers here. Uh-huh.
Then let's walk over this way. Or pan over here and get me walking.
Okay. You'll have to...
Inside this fence here is the Butts, B-U-T-T, no S. Then here's the Walton, And you're talking about 1871 to 1911. This one's sort of deteriorating around. This one, see, the urn is off.
It's broken, yeah,
And the one
broken.
there's broken.
Probably vandals did that.
And the end stones, you'll see them all over.
Yeah, now look at this one. What is the date of death on this one?
Which one, Walton here?
Yes.
On this one, it's showing 1906. From 1852 to 1906.
Yeah, that is really gone.
Now look, pan behind you as you're standing there. Turn around and see there's another butt and drain. You see where people married, you know, and they show both names on it.
Yeah,
like Elizabeth Lou Butts, wife of Dr. William A. Drain.
Yeah. This is a family plot here. Look how large it is.
You see the modern as it goes up to there. You see, started here and gets real modern.
Yeah. There's an old one there. And these are children's graves, looks like here,
well,
quite
it's
small.
Everything. Mom and Dad. Oh, this very small ones, yeah.
Notice they still have some flowers on some of them. They may be artificial.
Well, no, they are. They're artificial.
Yeah.
But still, they've been put there by the later ones.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's go this way. Okay, this looks like a very old. Look at the ironwork around it. The one beyond has nothing. This one, and particularly this one. Look at the Masonic emblem, isn't it?
Yes.
I don't know what the robe significance is. The Bible. This is William M. Drain, born April 30th, AD 1830, and died February 21, AD 1871, 41 years old.
Mm-hmm.
His wife, Margaret Bryan, wife of William Drain. Then we have a Henry Drain. And then a smaller one. Let's continue on down this way.
And here's some above the ground crypts.
This says Brown, Hattie Berhalter. And that's the only one there that's of the old.
Mm-hmm.
Now look at them deteriorating down here.
Yeah, these are above the ground type.
Very deteriorating.
Let's see if we can find some dates on them.
This says Revolutionary War, John Burke Halter. H-A-L-T-E-R.
But no date?
No date. Our mother, Mary Butt.
There were a lot of butts died and were buried here.
All the butts in here. Now this...
Are there anything on these?
Nothing on them, honey.
Nothing on these. All right, let me get on up here to family plot.
Now this is the Holton.
Mm-hmm.
H-O-L-T-O-N, Dr. N.M. Holton. Died October of 1962. 1862,
yeah.
And he was born in 1810, so he would be 52 years old. And a doctor. H-E-R-I-N, Huron, H-E-R-I-N.
Holton.
This is the eldest son of E.C. and Amanda M. Bull, B-U-L-L, died November 1918. No, November 19, 1868.
And what's that down there at the bottom of
This is Butts.
Yeah, and above that, where it looked like somebody built it.
Oh, down here, it says
Yeah.
A-R-L-Q-P-E and Son.
Americus, Georgia. They were the stone cutters, I guess.
Did you get this?
Looking at grandfather and grandmother's plot here again, it looks like there's room for at least one other interment here on the left, and another one over here, where the Barbara is standing. I noticed on grandmother's grave, there's no markings at all on that solid piece of marble or whatever it is.
Looks like marble.
Looks like marble. Where the one on Granddad seems to be concrete, and it has the markings on there, the date and all. And here that Barbara's interested in. This is Harvey, a family plot. You say Harvey has been part of your family, BJ?
Uh-huh. See here? Well, Harvey is the one that goes with Jimmy Carter, takes Jimmy Carter fishing all the time.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Your uncle.
My uncle, See here? And which is just down the road at Plains, Georgia, where Jimmy Carter
Not far from here.
Yeah.
Now, Mother, this is the courthouse here in Buena Vista. I was just curious as to whether it might look familiar to you. I've been inquiring around to see if there were any Singletons in this area who might be 80 years of age or more, but can't seem to find any. Now, your name is Ben Singleton, and you say that, let's see, how did you say it a moment ago? My grandfather, W.C. Singleton, is...
My great uncle.
Your great uncle.
My dad's uncle.
Your father's uncle.
Right.
Your father's name is?
Grover Cleveland.
Grover Cleveland Singleton.
That's right, and he's dead.
Uh-huh. When did he die?
1971.
1971.
He was 82.
He was 82, so he was going back there too.
Right.
Let's see. Did you know anything, or do you know anything about William C. Singleton?
Wasn't he a railroad man?
That was part of it, yeah.
And he was a tax collector.
He was a tax collector
Right.
for the county. Right. I'll be darned, you do know something
That's
about
right.
him.
My dad had told me about it.
Okay. He was injured. I don't know whether you knew that or not, in a railroad
Right.
accident.
I remember.
We have some of the newspaper clippings, old clippings. I have it in my scrapbook, an album that was handed down through the family, and I still have them.
I'd like to see it.
Who were your, you say your great-granddaddy was his brother?
No.
That's right.
Was
No,
he-
your grandfather.
I'm a grandfather, that's
Yeah,
right.
your grandfather.
His name was Greenberry.
He was what now?
Greenberry.
Greenberry.
Uh-huh.
Now, that was his last name, or
Greenberry Singleton.
Greenberry Singleton? I mean, his
Uh-huh.
given name, yeah, Greenberry
right.
Singleton.
And how many children did he have?
7, I believe.
Do you know their names?
Yeah.
Will you say them?
Well, Grover Cleveland and John Wesley, Andrew James, and John, Uncle John, I can't know his second name.
Uh-huh.
And he had a daughter, Aunt Ella. She's living in North Carolina now. She's a Brown.
Where is she living in North Carolina?
Arden, North Carolina. I still write to her.
Yeah, I was born in North Carolina. See, Mother,
What's this?
Mother moved from here to Albany, Georgia, and she married a Bradford, and that's my name, of course. And then they moved on up to North Carolina, where I was born.
Aunt Ella's got a pottery in North Carolina. She's about 90 now. And he had a sister. My dad had a sister named. She died when her daughter was born. Aunt Ethel. And Aunt Annie Ruth was her name.
R-O-O-F?
Annie
R-U-T-H.
Ruth.
Ruth.
R-U-T-H.
Ruth.
And she's buried in Salem, Seal, Alabama. She was the youngest one. She died 15 years ago.
I see.
Did she have any children?
Had one daughter, Celeste, lives in New Orleans. I don't know who she married.
And this Brown, the one that's in North Carolina, what is her, what name does she go by in the phone book?
Davis, Miss Davis Brown.
Davis.
I got a phone address.
That's enough. Thank you, though. And what else do you know about the Singletons?
Well, see, my daddy had 4 boys and 4 girls, and 2 boys live here. Of course, one of them dead. I know one live here. And I got 2 sisters here. Doris, one that works here, and another sister lives about 7 miles out in the country. There's a little place called Tazewell.
Doris is the Mrs. Welsh.
That's right. And the other one married a Wales.
Wales? And the 2 boys are where?
One of them's in Augusta, and the other one's here. Teaches school.
Great.
Did you ever know Clark Singleton, Raoul Clark Singleton?
I've heard of it.
My mother's brother.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I can't remember him, though.
Yeah.
I've heard my daddy talk about it.
Yeah, he used to work for old White's Candy Company up in Albany, Georgia, and then he went with Rath Packing Company. He's dead now, died down in Florida many years ago.
I know some older sisters probably would remember.
Probably would.
She would. Doris might. She one that's going to come up here.
Yeah.
You mentioned a name, Eva.
Eva Pearl. Do you? Who's the Eva you know?
She married ain't Eva married Uncle Noah. Of course, now she would have been she wasn't a Singleton.
She wasn't.
She married a Singleton.
His mother was Eva, but she is the Eva.
She was a Singleton. I don't remember Eva Singleton not,
Well, Mother left here when she was quite young, as I recall.
5 years old, I believe you said?
Seemed like to me she was, less than 10 years old.
My dad knew, he lived, during the time Uncle Bill was, working the railroad. He remembered all about it. He told
So your
me
grandfather was known as Bill, huh? Tom?
Apparently so. I didn't remember that, but being William, it seems
That's right.
reasonable.
That's what he always called me. And I knew he was buried here.
Yeah, he was, I believe you say he was tax collector.
Yeah.
And he also used to have a general mercantile store of some kind here, I believe.
Probably did.
I remember coming down here when I was quite young, and it was a dirt street then. That was back in the early 30s, and he had a general store here. He later moved up to North Carolina.
I had it, Uncle Bill's grave cleaned off about
You did?
About 3 or 4 years ago.
We were just out there taping this morning.
It was a lot of vine. It had grown back up. There was a lot of honeysuckle vine.
No, it's clean. It
was one, it was growing on the grave, and I wanted to get it cleaned up.
Oh yeah, it looks real good.
Did he have, Uncle Bill have a, well, I know he had a brother named Robert. I know where he
Goodness,
Is he up there at the same cemetery?
He's buried about 15 miles near, I guess what you call a family cemetery, back in the woods.
And his name was Robert?
Right.
Singleton.
Yeah, well, I'm not familiar with that at all.
He was my great-great-granddad. Which is supposed to be Uncle Bill's brother.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'd never heard anybody speak of my grandfather's brother.
What year would he have been born, and what year did he die? Do you have any idea? This is Robert now.
Yeah, he was, I believe he died in about 1922.
Do you know how old he was when he died?
Probably in his 70s.
In the 70s.
It's on his tombstone. I wrote it down, but I forgot where I put it.
And he's buried at what? At a family?
It's below Tazewell. It's a little town about 7 miles from here, and it's about 4 miles from there. Close to where I was raised. I was raised above Tazewell, 5 Points. And that's where Greenberry is buried, up at the Johnson Cemetery. And my grandmother And he's got another bed there. And, Robert A. Singleton is buried on about 4 or 5 miles from there.
Mm.
Yes, I believe you have a kissing cousin.
This is Doris, my sister.
And this is Doris, your sister Doris Welch.
That's right.
Doris Singleton Welch.
That's
Right.
right.
And I hope you don't mind my photographing. These are from my mother, who's, well, she's 85 years of age, living down in Ormond Beach, Florida, and she can't travel, so I wanted to come back to her hometown and maybe take some pictures of some folks that she may have known when she was small, or at least heard of.
Yeah.
Because she left here when she was quite young.
I know she'll remember my dad and my Doris' dad. I bet
You know her.
I never heard Papa speak of it, did you? Well, I did it. My dad and Uncle Dave.
Yeah. Could be young, but not.
But you see, that was one of his daughters. She was younger than Papa. Papa would be 88. He'd be 96 if he was still living.
Mm-hmm.
Mama would be 94 today.
Today?
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
Yeah,
And her name was what?
Bertha Harris Singleton.
Harris Singleton.
You wouldn't happen to remember my grandfather's wife's maiden name. It was Anna something. I have it written down in my family tree, but I just can't think of it offhand.
Wouldn't be.
It wasn't Watson, right? No. That was Grandpa married. He married a Harriet Watson.
I don't know if she was the
My
same.
mother will probably laugh at this when she hears this when I show it to her, but I swear I can't remember her mother's maiden name, and yet I have it in our family tree and all.
She didn't have a brother named Henry, did she?
No. You mean my mother?
Yeah, Doris,
No.
remember he and Papa talked about Clark Singleton.
Yes.
Clark Singleton was mother's brother. It was Rowell Clark. They called him Clark. He was my uncle.
I want to tell you something. I got a lot. Did he go to the University of Georgia about 1908?
Oh, goodness. I
got
don't
You got a
know.
diploma from some.
Well, no, that wasn't the one, BJ.
That's
But,
okay.
but it seemed like he might have gone. I don't think he ever finished. I'm
No.
not sure.
I got a card from there about a year ago, and that was his name,
Rowell, R-A...
Quel.
No, it was R-A-O-E-L or something,
Yeah.
Rowell. I've got it written down. But we always called him Uncle Clark.
Yeah, they sent it here to. I believe they had his name on it. In his Singleton, they put it in my box.
Uh-huh.
And I told him I thought it was Uncle Bill's brother.
Yeah.
And sent it back, and I didn't know where it was, or what, they thought he might be dead. It was in some fraternity that they wanted to find out about.
It's possible. I just honestly
that
don't
was
know.
his name.
Yeah, it's possible.
And I sent it back, and they wrote me again, and of course they didn't know what happened to me.
Yeah, because he'd been
I
dead.
might even still have the card at the house.
They write it again. You tell them that he died in what year, Tom?
Well, Uncle Clark died 18 years ago. I'm not sure.
In Florida.
Yeah, he was down in Daytona Beach, Florida when he died.
Yeah.
Holly Hill, Florida.
If I find that thing, I'll get it to you, sir.
All right. We'll give him
Doris, can you think of anything that you
I
can
was
remember?
trying to think. Got where I can't remember.
Get a card out of there, baby. If I've got any left, I may not even have any. Thought I'd maybe give you my card while you're here. We live in Mobile, Alabama.
I got a brother live there. We have.
Do you?
Thought about when
Another
I was
Singleton.
talking to
Yeah.
you that
He's
we
my
had a
brother
brother.
next to me.
Yeah.
I have to get one out of my purse.
Oh,
Well, they
because
live
you're
in
out of it.
St. Elmo now, right?
St. Elmo, yeah, that's not too far down, down a little bit
on.
more towards the coast,
Right.
and down the fishing country.
Yeah. He's an electrician.
But
Electrician.
he has lived there for a long time.
And he lived there about 40 years.
40
About
years.
40.
40 years. Well, he might know some of these people, too.
Are all the Singletons in the book related here?
In the phone
No,
book, there were
they
7
wanted-
of them.
They wanted tonight.
One missing.
The O-N thing.
Hey,
Not-
you get ready.
The rest of them all, the rest of
In
them,
the movies.
my nephews and children. I got Ricky and Danny.
No,
That's
he's
my
not
ball.
here this
They're here.
morning.
Ricky,
That's right.
Danny. We saw them in the phone book.
But he'll be here.
And mine and Ronnie Singleton was my nephew.
Okay.
Yeah, we saw some of those names in the
Yeah.
phone book when we were looking through that.
What do they do here?
Ronnie
You said
worked-
one's a teacher.
yeah, he's away.
He'll be here this
Ronnie works for George the Kraus. Our boys got a hunting lodge here. Danny
Yes,
and
sir.
Ricky works
I'll wait.
Ellerville, Champion Motor Home.
Italian motorhomes. You want to stop for a little bit now?
Is your real name Benny? Is that
That's
it?
right.
And they call you Ben.
Right.
And what's your middle name?
Louis.
Louis Singleton. And what's your address? You live here in Buena Vista,
I
right?
live out in the country, 7 miles
What direction?
south on Highway 41
Highway 41.
in the
okay.
Drainville community.
What community?
Drainville,
Drainville. What's your mailing address?
post office box 57, University,
And your zip?
31803.
31803. Okay. That'll give me a good record here if I want to review it a little bit and then maybe drop you a note or something.
The address of Ben, because that's what everybody needs to know.
Okay. And I want you to say that again, what you said a minute ago about my grandfather, Bill Singleton, and your grandfather,
Greenberry,
Greenberry Singleton,
were brothers.
were brothers.
And their daddy was Robert A. or E. I think it was Robert A. And I know where he's buried.
Yeah, that's when you say he's buried in a family cemetery?
That's right.
Yeah, okay.
Of course, there's some Mackies buried. There's several different families buried in it. So.
Yeah, okay. And you say there's some Watsons around here too that kin to my grandmother.
I guess they was.
Yeah, more than likely.
Because the person that wrote me said that he married a Watson here. There was some Watsons here. They're all about dead,
Okay.
except the young one.
All right. Okay, that sounds real good, and I appreciate it, Ben. Okay. Ben, where are we right now?
We're approximately 11 miles north of Buena Vista.
Yeah, and whose property we own?
Ms. Herman Bell.
Miss Herman Bell. Now, this is what must be an old private cemetery, or just, what do you call them? Just a family cemetery. And whose grave are we looking at right here? One with the long, the tall...
My great-granddad, Robert Singleton.
Great-granddad Robert Singleton. And he was, what's his birth and death date?
He was born March the 5th, 1826, died February 15th, 1908.
Uh-huh. And,
He was a brother to...
He was brother to William Singleton.
brother to William Singleton, who was my grandfather.
That's right, and he also had a son named Robert Singleton.
Yeah. Now, what is that inscription there on this flat thing? Can you read that?
Says, the best, the dearest, favorite of the sky must taste that cup, for man is born to die.
Yeah. Now, over here, just to our left, is a small stone also. This must have been Robert's wife. Is that right?
That's the way I understand it.
Yeah.
What was her name?
Mary Singleton, born August 16th, 1852, and died April 1st, 1902.
Right. And we had to tromp out here in the woods to find this. This is, like Ben said, it's a family cemetery. It's not got any name to it or anything, but there's some other graves around. I see one right over here, right straight ahead of me there, that looks like it might have been a, let's see, who was, is there any?
It's broke into.
It's been broke into?
You can see the back.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Is there any name on that one, Ben?
Yeah, I see it here.
Mary Jane, wife of Darlin Duke, born August 16th, 1822, died January 27, 1902. Now, I don't know anything about Dukes or anything.
Well, I know some Dukes, but I don't know who these people were.
All right, how about this one over here to your left, Ben? What is that?
That was a Duke.
That was a Duke also.
Right. Died in 1881.
All right, now back over here behind you, there's a fenced-in area. And what are these family names in here?
These are Mackey, M-A-C-K-E-Y.
Mackeys.
That's right.
I know
Of course, he
a
was
Mackey.
in the Confederate.
Yeah.
There's some
Confederate
Mackeys
States.
still live here now in this county.
And this one's E. Mackey, daughter of...
Mary.
Yeah. Just while we was tromping through the woods here, we happened to run across a couple of markers. This one is J.F. Stewart, Company A. What does that say there, Ben?
46 Georgia, yeah.
46th Georgia Infantry, Confederate States of America. Let's see, it doesn't have his birth or death date on it, does it? He just buried there.
We're about 14 miles north of Buena Vista at Johnson Cemetery. It's on the old Stubbs place is where the cemetery is located. And this is the grave of my granddaddy, Green Bear Singleton, born August 24th, 1861. Died November 27th.
And died when?
Born August 24th, 1861. Died November 27th, 1923.
Oh, yeah, I got that. And let's see. Now, this man is your
Granddaddy.
And what kin was he to my granddaddy?
He was your brothers.
They were brothers to William C. Singleton, who was my mother's father. And over here, right beside him now, is the grave of Elizabeth Singleton.
That's right. She was Elizabeth Fletcher Singleton.
Fletcher. That would be good to know. That was her maiden name then,
That's
Fletcher.
Right.
And born November the 19th.
1863.
Died
April 12th, 1946.
Oh, yeah, that had been too terribly long ago.
1 year after President Roosevelt died.
Right.
Same day.
Same day, April
a year
12th.
later.
Yeah, I know I was in Holland when Roosevelt died. I didn't remember the date exactly.
Of course, her dad and mother's buried back of us.
I noticed, Ben, that they spell the name here, her first name, with a E-L-I-S. Does that sound right to you?
No, it's misprinted.
It's misprinted. What should it be?
E-L-I-Z.
E-L-I-Z. That's the way I've heard most of the Elizabeth
Right.
spelled, and I just wondered about that.
When Aunt Ella got them made, they spelled it wrong. She knew it, but didn't get them correct.
Didn't get it corrected.
Right.
Where are we now, Ben?
We're at Tazewell, Georgia.
Tazewell, Georgia, and this is what's the name of the cemetery?
Tazewell Cemetery.
5 miles from where we just came from.
Yeah, that was from the Johnson Cemetery.
Right. It's 7 miles from Buena Vista, this cemetery.
Okay. Where are we, Ben?
We're at Tazewell Cemetery.
Tazewell Cemetery, and what are we looking at here?
Looking at a grave of my mom and daddy. Daddy was Grover Cleveland Singleton, born September 26, 1888, died April 14, 1971.
All right, and
Mama was Bertha Harris Singleton.
is that H-A-R-R-I-S?
That's right.
Okay.
February 26, 1891, 22nd, 1891, November 11th, 1980. Today she would be 94 years old.
Right. She had a long life.
That's the truth. Good old lady.
And then over here,
This is my brother.
brother.
He was Lucius Cleveland.
Hmm?
Born November 14, 1908. Died May the 27th, 1977. He was the oldest child of 8, and I'm the youngest one.
Right.
I was born in 1930.
And Rita M. is
That's his wife.
his wife.
She's still living.
And what was her maiden name?
Mackey.
Mackey. Oh, yeah, that's right. You told me.
Might be some of the Mackeys that was in the first cemetery.
That's possible, yeah. Now, what is the relationship of your father to my grandfather?
Your grandfather was my father's uncle.
Okay.
This Grover Cleveland's daddy was Greenberry Singleton, and his daddy was Robert Singleton.
Right. Okay.
And William Singleton was my daddy's uncle.
Right.
We called him Uncle Bill.
Right. Terry here. I just, Ben happened to kind of bring something to our attention. As you are now, so once was I. As I am now, you soon will be. So kind friends, remember me. And the way I remember that my dad used to say it is pretty much the same, except for the last line. It says, so prepare for death and follow me. I've been trying to find one of these for a long time. This is on a Wadsworth grave in the same cemetery. Terry here, and Barbara and Ben have run across a large kind of like a family plot with a lot of Singletons buried in there, so I'm just going to sort of shoot all of them while I'm here, as long as my battery will last. Hope they don't mind my stepping on the graves here. Mattie Lee Singleton. BJ, don't let me run into anything now. I'm walking sideways. Violus Singleton. I've never heard that name.
Yeah, I knew him, so he just died. He got hurt in World War II.
Now this one is Charlie Singleton.
I'm going to lean it back so you can get a picture of it, Tom.
All right.
He's a brother of your granddad.
And this is the brother of my grandfather, according to Ben here.
So I ain't going there, I
Well,
wouldn't.
I mean, I put that in all of them, you know, because as best of his knowledge. That's right.
This is falling off of here.
Yeah, that's a shame. It needs to be cemented back up. And this is C.W. Singleton. Is that what that is? Died in 1924. And Thaddeus Singleton. Now, what is Jordan doing in here?
That's Henry's daughter.
Henry Singleton's daughter?
No, I'm wrong. Henry Singleton's daughter married we call him Jordan.
Jordan, mm-hmm. I know, I've heard it called both.
Yeah.
And Homer, son of O.M. and D.C. Singleton, aged about 1 year.
I guess this was the
Read it to him, because that won't pick it up if you don't read it.
Let's see.
First name, W.D. Lumpkin.
Yeah, Lumpkin.
W.D. born October 1st, 1833, died June 6, 1897.
Mm-hmm.
Knows he was a Mason.
And, yeah, and here's Mrs. N.S. Lumpkin.
You read the
Born
date?
December 19th, 1832, died April 13th, 1907.
Lumpkin's in here.
Miss Melinda Lumpkin, when my first child was born in about 1952, he burned his hand bad on a heater, and she could talk the fire was burned. Well, we carried him to her, and he quit crying, and there wasn't even sore from it. The whole hand was blistered.
Well, you know, I noticed that name there, Melinda. Usually it's spelled M-A-L-I-N-D-A.
That's right.
I noticed that one's got a Y on it.
That's right. She was a Blythe.
That was her maiden name, Blythe.
That's right.
And let's see, what's this one up here? Dovey Lumpkin Hester.
1886 and 1909.
Yeah.
I guess that was one of the brothers.
Yeah.
Sisters, some of them.
And what's this one, Ben?
Wallace D. Hester. He was born. It died in a month.
Yeah, in just a month.
My mother's maiden name was Bertha Harris, and her maiden name was Harris, and this is her granddaddy. Her daddy, my granddaddy, J.H. Harris, and her mother. Her mother's name was Melinda.
And what date's on that? Do you remember?
Well, there's no date on that J.H.
On
Harris.
his, on hers.
Yeah.
I believe she was born, if I'm not mistaken, died in 1980. Just can't remember that.
1872 to 1812? 1912.
1912. That's right.
1872 to 1912.
And her maiden name was Rogers.
And her maiden name was Rogers.
All right, this is Tazewell Post Office in Tazewell, Georgia. This is the seat, or used to be the county courthouse, the location of the county courthouse, and which is now in Buena Vista, Georgia. Let's see, courthouse, 1848. House was built by the person he calls Uncle Bill Singleton, which I knew as Granddaddy, William C. Singleton. We're on 2nd Avenue at the corner of Crawford Street. Hi, Ben. It's been a few days since I recorded the first portion of this tape. Here it is Easter Sunday now, and I'm ready to try to wrap this thing up and so I can get it off in the mail to you tomorrow. What I've done is re-recorded the first portion of the tape for you, and as it turns out, in the very last part of that scene where you see the house that we took a picture of, that is my mother's birthplace. We checked the old family photo album, and sure enough, that's it. The only difference is originally that porch out front did have a roof on it. I wish now that I had known that it was mother's birthplace. I might have tried to talk to someone about going inside and taking some pictures. Well, maybe next time. In the next scene, you will see Mother and her two sisters, her two living sisters, and you'll see her sister Minnie on the left, her sister Annie, whose real name is Anner, A-N-N-E-R, like most of the Singletons have that name. And then, of course, Mother will be on the right. Her name is Eva Pearl Singleton Bradford. Let's see, I'm trying to think if there's anything. Oh, yes. That picture is taken in Mother's living room she lives at number 33 Carroll Road in Ormond Beach, Florida. So with that, I'll cut off, and then you can see that short portion.
You know, that's one of the Carol was dumping that. Carol was over there.
Really?
Yeah, Carol was one of the Marines that helped, you know, adopted those kids. That must be or it happened, I mean, 19, where'd you get all that? Church today?
National got the pictures that forgot your cigarette.
I'm not making a picture. I'm trying to get this stuff so I can.
See, there you are.
Let me know so I can smile, please.
Anna makes a real good picture. Even looks like she's 10 years older than Anna.
Oh, yeah, because I got so many wrinkles now. I love
Well, why would you? You just got to put.
Oh, I look at it. I mean, it looks good, I think.
I look good.
I think you do.
Oh, heavens. I came through God.
You don't got the lines in your face like I have.
I think I look like Emily Carson.
Well, you got more age on you than many
I
men.
know I have. But you got more age than me. You don't have all those lines.
Well, I know, but you lost weight, and I haven't. I weighed 122 yesterday, Dr. Doc. And, well, why does it make a picture on it?
It's tape, and then you can erase it anytime you want to.
Yeah, you can raise it.
That's kind of like a tape on those cassettes, huh?
Like a cassette, yeah.
Cassette, that's what I have.
Where's Billy coming from?
You can erase it if you want to. Use it over again.
Where's Billy coming from? Look at
Up
them.
on my cheek, trying to have tempers on you, boy.
Good. Oh, my.
Wiley's coming in October.
Would you do something for me?
Within reason, why not?